All right, guys. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh my goodness, y'all must gonna get some amazing information this morning. Amazing, amazing, amazing information. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This call is designed for Goal Director, and it's designed to help you to understand what you need to do to get things up and running. To hit Director, I'm gonna walk you guys through a little blueprint that I put in place that helps you to identify what you need to do to get up and running. Let me just make sure our technical back end is good to go to ensure that you guys can see everything. And then we are going to go ahead and get started. Hey, did you get the updated code? Yeah, it's another one. Yeah, no, another one right now. Submit it. There's something glitched out. So if you can go ahead and get that set up. Okay. All right. Okay, great. The new one. Thank you. Okay. So we should be back on track. Let's refresh the screen one more time. I'm trying to make sure everything is good. And guys, I apologize. Apologize. Okay, I see us live. Yay! It's coming back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You guys are gonna see a little bit of a delay. So what I'm gonna do, I have put together a brochure. I'm kind of like a guide for my team, okay? And what it did is it actually gave an overview of some of the key things that you needed to do to get your business up and running. And so what I'm gonna do is walk you guys through that on today. I'm gonna share with you my secret blueprint and how I actually help my team get their business up and running quickly. There's a few key things that we usually encourage people to do, and I'm going to walk you through that. And that's the ability for them to get their business going. Now, for those of you who have my number, if you can please text me and just let me know that you see this on the screen, we'll be good to go. So guys, what we'll do is there's 10 steps that I walk my team through to creating success, okay? The first step is to identify what your dream goals are. You want to identify what your dream goals are. You want to begin to put in practice what the outcome is that you want to create with your business, okay? And so you want to be able to look at your dream goals, identify your dream goals with the company. The next thing is to be a product of the product, all right? Be a product of the product. And what that means, guys, is you should be investing in purchasing these different products and being in a position where you actually have tried them yourself and you can talk to people about it. Somebody said blow it up a little. All right, let me make it bigger. Let's get rid of the sidebar. Okay. All right, Candace, can you see it bigger now? Is it good? Hopefully you guys can see this. This is a little bit bigger. All right, I think this should be good now. All right. And what this is, guys, this is 10 steps to your success in the business. 10 steps to your success. Let me know if you can see this. I think you're texting me. Widen the screen. Yes, good. Okay, great. So the first goal, guys, is to define your dream goals with the company. And what I mean by that, guys, is identifying what is something major that you want to accomplish through leveraging this business. Some of you guys may have wanted to get off of your job to spend more time with your family. Some of you guys may have wanted to save up money to buy a house. Some of you guys may have wanted to be in position to travel the world and do some things. Some of you guys may want to help take care of your aging parents, be debt free. Whatever it is, get yourself a big picture goal so that you can be in position to experience success in your business because you're thinking about the big picture. The issue with many of us is we're too short-term goal oriented. And what that means is that we focus just on making the next dollar, but we don't identify how this can be a vehicle to totally transforming our life. All right. So you want to identify what your dream goals are with the company. The second is being a product of the product. Guys, I'm doing a resolution right now because I want to be able to talk about it when people do it. You know, my first day on doing the resolution, I had no idea how it worked. I had read about it, but I didn't put it into practice to where I was intentionally able to focus on the specifics, the detailed things that are required to make it work. So now I'm in day 5. You know, I've lost 5 pounds. I'm going through the eating regimen. I'm identifying my emotions, how I feel, how it works, so that I can be able to communicate that. I'm a product of the product. I can say that I've lost 5 pounds and on the resolution, I've lost 5 pounds with the T, right? So you want to become a product of the product. Many of us buy one product or 2 products getting started, and then we think we're going to build a thriving business. That's just not how this works. You have to be in a position, guys, to experience a variety of products. You want the NutriVerse, the NRG, the resolution. You know, you want all the different things up that you, hold on one second. All right, I'm getting a text from people. I think they got to refresh the screen. But you want to try all the different products. I take the Chaga, the Gano. We've taken it Strike Up and Love, right? The Emu oil. You want to get your hands, you do the facial stuff. I use Pomaca, love Pomaca. I love the exfoliator. It is amazing, right? I have the chemical peel. I ordered the Rainique. We have all these different products. I'm looking at my shelf now as I'm talking to you, but I'm trying all these different products so that I can actually talk about them and truly be in a position to speak about them with enthusiasm based on what it has done for me, all right? The third thing is make key commitments that are non-negotiable, okay? Make key commitments that are non-negotiable. One of the things that I encourage my team to do is getting on 120 in auto ship. Why? Because if you're talking about going national, then you have to be positioned for national. You have to act as if you are already national. So you want to be in a position to where you have everything you need to be national. In order to hit the rank of national, guys, you have to have $120 in auto ship, okay? $120 in auto ship. So you want to be in a position where you go and you upgrade your auto ship. Another good thing about auto ship, guys, is inventory. You want to have all the necessary inventory in place anyway. So we actually now have the NRG samples can be on auto ship now. We just got the Emu oil samples that just came in. Guys, put those things on auto ship so that when they come in, you can start giving out samples. I want to believe we'll probably eventually end up with some Strike Up and Love samples, but they're starting to improve the sample options that we have so that people can give them a try. So go and put those things on auto ship to keep them coming in. A third non-negotiable, guys, is to share the business daily. You should be talking to somebody about the business daily, okay? Somebody about the business daily. And so those are things that you have to think about. What are your key commitments? I have a key commitment that I am committed to this business for the next 12 months. There is no distractions, no nothing, going full force, giving it my all for the next 12 months. I have multiple different businesses, guys, but I put those businesses on hold so that I can truly focus on building out this business, fully focused for 12 months. I'm giving it my all, right? So you have to identify what are your non-negotiables. Some people come in and say, well, if it don't work in a week, I quit. I mean, come on, that's too easy. It's not gonna work in a week. You're building a business here, and it's just like building a house. You got to build a firm foundation. You got to give it some time to begin to settle. You got to build the momentum. You got to help the people to learn. You know, I'm just catching momentum in my business. I've been in the business. It'll be 90 days on Monday. And so, you know, you want to be in a position, guys, where you are allowing yourself to be able to go through the process of developing your business out. And so sharing your business daily is a non-negotiable. So we talked about the being on auto ship at 120, staying plugged in and attending events. Listen, you're running a business. Congratulations for getting on. And if you're watching this now live, you know, we actually started a little late. We had some technical difficulties up front. You know, congratulations to you, because you're spending your Saturday with us with an opportunity to hear about what you can do to leverage your business. But guys, the critical key point for you in building your business is the ability to stay plugged in and attending events, which means all of you guys should be at convention, and all of you guys should be in a position to help yourself grow and blossom, and that happens through live events. So what you want to do is be at convention. You want to go to all the local events that come into your city. You want to go to a place where you're always surrounding yourself with the people who are winning in this business, and it will position you for success. The sixth thing is share the business daily. Share the business daily. I just said that was a non-negotiable. That's tapping into calls daily, getting on the business overview calls every night that we have. And then I talk about the 5-5-5 plan, guys. You know, you want to expose your business to 5 new people a day. You want to get 5 new transactions, and you want to follow up with 5 previous customers or potential business partners. All right. You want to get 5 new people a day, 5 new transactions, and follow up with 5 previous customers or potential business partners. That is a goal that I set for myself every single day. These are called income producing activities. So what this means, guys, is that every single day you should start your day or start your time that you have set aside for your business focusing on the 5-5-5. You know, how many people can I get exposed to my business today? That means getting them on a on-demand call, getting them to watch a video, getting them on our opportunity calls, or even getting them to a business meeting, right? A business presentation overview. How many transactions can I get? That's sales. Can I sell some tea today? Can I sell some resolution today? Can I sell some strike up and some love? Can I get 5 transactions today? Can I get a new rep? Transactions are also new reps that join the business, all right? You also want to follow up with 5 previous customers or potential business partners. 5 previous customers or potential business partners. So guys, if you have somebody who buys product from you, don't just sell them and let them go. Check in with them, because they might be talking to people about the product and say, you know what, I've just been talking about this product. I have a girlfriend who wants to order the product. Can you connect, you know, can she order it through you? And that's your opportune time to say, well, hey, you know, as a result of you buying these products, you can actually have your own website. You can send people to it. When they buy, you'll get a 50% commission. So what you want to do, guys, is follow up with people. People may not have the money to get started, and they say, you know what, I get paid in 2 weeks. So you go ahead, you follow up with them in 2 weeks. I have a calendar you want to have, and I'll show you guys what I have in front of me. But you want to have a calendar where you identify the key people that are going to say that they want to get in your business. Because if you don't follow up, guys, they say the fortune is in the follow up. If you don't follow up, they ended up falling, you know, on somebody's website, and they join with them. And then you see them, they say, you know what, I never heard from you. I told you I would join, but you never called me back. All right. The next thing is make a list. You know, a lot of us try to avoid making a list, but guys, your family and friends are buying these products. I promise you. They're hearing about it, they're excited about it, and they're ready to buy it. You want to have a starter list. That's 50 potential people that you feel want to be will be potential business partners, and 50 people that you feel will be great customers. All right, potential business customers. Write a starter list out and build an ongoing list of people as they cross your mind. You know, you might be scrolling through on Facebook and you see somebody and say, oh, you know what? I forgot all about Tasha. I need to reach out to her and see what she's up to. You know, Tasha may put on there, summer vacation is here, time for summer camp. But man, summer camp is so expensive. You might inbox her, hey, Tasha, how you doing? I just saw your post for the kids in summer camp. I know what you mean, right? And you may say to her, well, listen, if I could show you where you can make some extra money to be able to help pay for your summer camp, would you be interested? You want to always be building a list of people that you see, and then immediately begin to make connections with them. All right. I talked about the fortune is in the follow-up. Make sure you follow up with everybody. And then also, guys, coaching your team members on these things, getting them plugged in and getting them to identify what are some of the key things that they need to be doing to help their business get up and running. All right. So these are the things that I teach my team. And I talked to them about the new member process. This is our 24-hour new member process, okay? And what we help with all our new team members. The first thing we do is we send them a welcome email. That welcome email lets them know, hey, here's our Facebook group. Hey, here's our text messaging system so you can get plugged in. Hey, you want to watch this video about preferred placement before you get started so that you can make sure that as you're beginning to sign people up, you can put people in the right place. Here's your IBO number. you know, the key things that they need to know. The second thing that we do is we get on the phone with them to make sure they follow the steps and get plugged into the system. Okay, follow the steps and get plugged into the system. All right. The third thing is make sure they understand left and right side placement. This has been a big issue. A lot of your people come in, they want to become binary qualified. I actually teach my team to get binary qualified in the first 24 hours. Okay, in the first 24 hours. And what happens is a lot of times people come in, they want to get binary qualified, and they end up putting both people on the same leg. Then they want to send an email to support. Support is inundated with all these different messages. Can you move somebody? And it becomes a headache. So when you're on the phone with your team, or when you're doing a coaching call, or when you're just getting them acclimated, help them to understand the difference between the left and the right side placement. All right. The next thing is help them with setting up auto ship. Okay. Help them with setting up auto ship. You have to be in position to teach your team how auto ship works. Guys, auto ship is very critical for their ranking. There's a lot of people who are ranking and they don't get the rank because they didn't have their auto ship up to par. Like if you hit executive, you need 80 points, and some people are on the $40 auto ship. And so they end up hitting executive and they end up not being able to qualify for that rank. Okay. And so you want to teach people to get on 120, set it and forget it. Listen, they have a whole month before auto ship will run. People should be making sales. They should be generating income to be able to support the auto ship. Plus, you need inventory. So it shouldn't be a big question about auto ship. If they need to set up a different bank account that just this is for their business, their TLC business, and they can make sure that they have that money in there so they don't have to worry about it mingling with their other bank account funds for their household bills and things like that, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you guys go get a bank account just for TLC, all right? And that way it doesn't compromise your business, it doesn't compromise your auto ship running, and it doesn't compromise your household funds, all right? The next thing is help them to become binary qualified immediately. As I shared, I help my team become binary qualified in the first 24 hours. That's what we teach them for those who want to build a business, okay? And then you also tell them to get their family and friends on a call and expose to this business within the first 24 hours, all right? So here's the power of auto ship. You know, just to show you guys a fast track to cash, okay? When you get on auto ship at 120 in volume, it also helps to produce the auto ship volume in your organization. So let's say you have 10 people on 120 in auto ship. That is $1,200 in volume that will go through your organization per month. If you have 20 people on 120 in auto ship, that is $2,400 in volume that goes through your organization per month. If you have 50 people on 120 in auto ship, guys, that's $6,000 in volume that's going through your organization. And when you have 100 people with 120, guys, that's 12,000 points that will be counted. So as you can see, you will automatically be director if you get 10 people on auto ship. That's if it all hits at the same week, right? Because auto ship hits on different days. But 10 people can help produce enough volume to hit director. 50 people can produce enough volume to hit exec, and 100 people can produce enough volume to go regional. All right. So let's understand the ranks. When it comes down to ranks, guys, this is just the average earnings just from the binary, okay? Just from the binary. So what happens is you're going to generate this kind of money just off of the one way we get paid based on these different ranks. So as an associate, when you become binary qualified, you will average about $100 a week, okay? As a director, this is just on the binary. This doesn't include your fast start bonus. It doesn't include your retail sales. This is just off the binary. As a director, you'll average between $120 to $600. As an exec, you'll average between $700 to $1,400. As a regional, you'll average between $1,700 and $3,400. As a national director, your binary will average between $4,000 and $10,000. And then when you go global, you'll average between $10,000 to $20,000. And you know, you max out at $20,000 in the binary. But guys, you guys can see the kind of income promotion that you get by going ahead and getting up, increasing in rank. You double your income, sometimes quadruple it every time, from 100 to potentially 600, from 600 to potentially 1,400, from 1,400 to 3,400, from 3,400 to 10,000. So when I went from executive to regional, I put myself in position to earn up to $3,400 a week in the binary, okay? Now my goal is to hit director. Boom, triple your money. You go up to 10,000 a week, okay? So you want to start paying attention to this, and this is the power of understanding the benefits of being promoted in rank, okay? So I had put this together for a run to regional, and I usually map out all my strategies on how I'm gonna do something before I get started, because I don't come into these businesses to try and see if it works. And you guys send me an updated email. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys can hear me and see me good, and that you're with me. No technical difficulties. Yes, no, maybe so. Let me just look and see and make sure I'm refreshing the screen. Make sure you guys can see me and you're with me. Okay, cool. You're with me. Awesome. Yes, you're good now. Hang on. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so we are back. Okay. So what I did, this was a goal that I had to be in a position. This was kind of like a strategy that I put together to hit executive director in 4 weeks for my team. Now I hit almost exec in my first week, but for my team, I say, hey, if you are serious about building this business and you want to go exec, here's the blueprint. Okay, here's the blueprint. Okay, thank you, Candace. Thank you, Erica. All right, so week 1 is, you want to become binary qualified. Okay. That means that you need to get one person on your right side, one person on your left. Now, guys, listen, this was before we could skip ranks. You can skip ranks now. So you can become director in 1 day. So I got to switch all this up, because before you had to do it rank by rank. So you can only become associate first, and then director later, and executive, and blah, blah, blah. But you actually can become an executive day 1, okay? So these are just steps. These are steps. You might take this, you want to do this in 4 days. However, you might be a beast at this stuff, and you have a lot of influence, and so you can make it happen. So what I had put together was how to become binary qualified. One person on your right side, one person on your left side, and you want to set a goal to get 5 to 10 new people in your business a week. All right, 5 to 10 new people in your business a week. You do a coaching call with all the new members so that they can get properly set up. You help everybody get on 120 and auto ship, and then you help all your team members become binary qualified. Because think about this. If you get one person on your left, one on your right, and you end up growing your team to 10 people, all 10 of these people get on 120 and auto ship, boom, that's 1,200 in points coming into your organization off the bat. But also, if you help these 10 people become binary qualified, that's going to be 10 times 2, and it's going to take you to 20 people. I don't know if that's right, though. They need 10 times 2. Is that the right numbers? If 10 people became binary qualified, that'll be 3 times 10, whatever the numbers would be. You end up with 30 people in your organization. Yeah. So those 10 people would grow plus 20. So it would be 30 people in your organization. So what happens is the packages, the retail sales, the auto ship's not running yet. It takes a month for it to run. But all that volume is being produced in your business, and you are now in a position to get anywhere between 500 to 1,000 in points in this first day or first week or whatever. If you stick to this goal, you help somebody on your left and your right get in to get binary qualified. You might tell a few other people. So instead of just 2 people starting in your business, you might start with 5 people. You might start with 10 people. However, I started off my first week with I think it was like 35 personals or something like that. And our organization was 50 plus people in week 1. Because a great deal of them got binary qualified, right? So you want to identify, hey, you could come off to a strong start, great, and you want to shoot for anywhere between 500 to 1,000 in volume if you can week 1, right? Or day 1, however y'all want to do this, because now that we can skip ranks, you're not restricted like we were when I got in, okay? The second goal is to become a director, okay? That's 1,000 in volume or 2,000 in sales. And when we say 2,000 in sales, is because you get 50% off of the packages that you sell in the company. Okay, so we averaged it based on that. So don't worry about the money part. Think about the volume piece of it. All right, the volume piece. What happens to become director is you want to grow by 5 to 10 new members again, right? But you're helping all the people who you got started with to become binary qualified. That volume will help push you to director, as we share, because you can easily get to 1,000 in volume with that. And you do a rinse and repeat. You help any new team members that join your business get binary qualified. You do a coaching call with them to help them get set up. You help all them get on 120 in auto ship. And now the rinse and repeat is starting to increase your numbers, right? So 1,000 to 2,500. So you went here and started off with a handful of people, but now the number and volume is increasing because the people are duplicating. And so now your numbers are doubling. The beautiful thing about our company, guys, is that it's not about, this is not about you. It's about you helping your team. So it's not about you going up in rank because you're such a beast. It's about you being able to help duplicate through your organization to help these people begin to duplicate what you're doing. And that's the way that the volume begins to increase. All right. The goal, the third goal, okay, is to help as many people become directors as possible. My personal organization, we produced about 25 to 30 directors in our team. Okay. We produced about 25 to 30 directors in our team, which is awesome. So what you want to do, guys, is do the same thing, rinse and repeat. Your goal is to start helping your people hit director, right? Because when you hit executive, you need 5,000 in volume. Well, that's 5 directors, okay? 5 directors at 1,000 each will get you to 5,000 in volume. So what you want to do, once again, grow your team by 5 to 10 new members. Help all new members become binary qualified. Help all your previous members hit director. And what you do, the way that you help them hit director, guys, is you begin to help them understand building that list, getting people on these different opportunity calls. You can do a launch call for your team where you begin to explain timing and positioning is everything. And Tanya is launching her organization, and she wants to help you have the opportunity to grow with her, because if you get positioned properly, you'll be in a position to benefit from the growth of her organization financially. And the company is growing, the momentum is there. You can do a launch call. You may not know what you're doing in the beginning. Go study launch calls. But guys, it's just to help create production for your team. All right. Help create production for your team. And in week number 3, your goal is to get between, or goal number 3, I don't want to do weeks anymore. It's just the goal. I shoot for between 2,500 to 4,000 points as a team. And then that way, the following goal is to hit executive. All right. You can hit executive. You rinse and repeat. None of this stuff this stuff is not, it's not a miracle. It's straight up strategy. And it's rinsing and repeating and doing the same efforts over and over again. You help 5 to 10 new members. You do the coaching call, help them become binary qualified, help previous members hit director, and then boom, you're going to be able to earn 5,000 in volume. All right, 5,000 in volume. Now let me just show you guys a few things so that you can begin to see the power of auto ship. I'm going to put myself back on the screen really quickly while I log into my account so that you guys, all right, so I'm gonna log into my screen. And if you have any questions, post them here. I'm gonna refresh. So post your questions on the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So you can post them and I will answer them. Okay. All right. Okay. If you have questions, post them. I'll come back and check. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm just pulling up this little worksheet. This little map that I put together to kind of map out. Let's see if I have it here. I may not be able to access it. But guys, the way that this works is it's a simple oh, that's because I'm not in my account. Oh, I'm not in my, I can't get into my email account. I'm sorry. Yes, I am in Miss Stormy's account. Okay, so I'm not able to pull it up. But the way that it works, guys, is you're gonna see a lot of momentum growing in your organization as you begin to rinse and repeat and help your team begin to learn how to duplicate the results. When you start getting into helping people become binary qualified, understanding how to promote the packages, understanding how all this stuff works is going to help you a great deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys some things that you need to understand about volume. And let's talk about buying ranks. You know, many of us want to buy our way to rank, but guys, it's great to rank, but it's even better to build people. Because sometimes we come and when you buy inventory, it's good to buy inventory to hit your rank, but you want to help get your people to reproduce. And so somebody emailed me yesterday, and I'm gonna go over this stuff really quickly. I'm just trying to see how much of my personal information is being shown. I want to show y'all how to do preferred placement, just in case we have any new people on here. And I'll show you really briefly of some of the key things that you want to do to get your preferred placement going. And then you also want to be in a position, guys, to teach your team this ahead of time and use some of the videos. We got a lot of videos out there. My computer's just moving a little slow. We have tons of videos out there. So I'm gonna show y'all how to do preferred placement. I'm gonna show you guys how to order in your back office. And let's see. I'm trying to remember what shows up when I pull this up. And go ahead and put your questions in. Oh yeah, I don't know if I can. I can't show y'all the screen. I'll show y'all what you need to do though. I don't want y'all seeing all my personal info. So, okay, preferred placement. Let's talk preferred placement real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. And go ahead and post your questions. I'll answer them in a second. Sharing the screen, sharing the screen. All right. So in your back office, guys, here's my back office. And what you want to do is you go under my profile. Now, because all my personal information is on that next page, I'm going to block you guys out from seeing it. But you click this button, okay? When you click this button, it's going to be a bunch of different options on the left-hand side. One of them is going to say preferred placement. You click preferred placement, okay? And when you click preferred placement, let me take it off real quick. I'll show you how it looks on the opposite page so that you can know how to shift the left leg and the right leg. Because you have to do it before people join, before people sign up, okay? You don't do it afterwards. People come, they're like, oh, they're in. Now how do I move them? You can't move them. So I'm gonna share the screen and you'll be able to see. All right, you see this screen. All right, and so, wrong screen. So what happens, you click this button here, preferred placement, when you click that profile, and you're gonna see this here. And so what you're gonna be able to do is hit a drop down menu, and you wanna do it before somebody enrolls. You gotta get somebody on your left leg, you gotta get somebody on your right leg, okay? And so you do that, you get the first person in, let's say it's on your left leg, boom, they sign up because you put the preferred placement on left, you get them in, and then before you sign the next person up, you come back in, you click right, you say changes, and it's gonna fall on your right. If you don't do this before people join, you're gonna end up with people in your organization, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, can the company move it? You only have 24 hours, but guys, it's just such a headache. They have already so many other customer support issues that we try to encourage the team to please try to take care of this on your own so that you don't inundate them with all this stuff, okay? Now, many of you guys have been asking about how to order from yourself because there's different ways that you can get volume. I'm gonna teach you guys the 3 ways. Is it 3 ways or 4 ways? Let's see. I know them all. I'm just thinking. So you have 4 different ways you get volume. Okay. The first way is going to be when you have retail sales. Okay, you have retail sales. And what happens is if somebody comes to your website and they buy products as a customer, you're only going to get 25% of the volume to count towards your points. So if somebody goes to Total Life Changes and they actually, because you got to be very strategic and you need to know the numbers. But let's say they go to shop, they click here to shop, they put in your customer ID number. What happens is they're going to go shop, they'll go buy what they need to buy, they'll get it shipped to them, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say I'm in Nigeria. I don't know what products are in Nigeria, whatever. Okay, so you get tea and HCG. So you add to the cart. What's going to happen is this is the shopping cart of the customer. This is what we see when we log into our back office. So when you log into your back office under orders and new order, the point volume is different back here than what you're going to get when somebody shops. So if a customer comes in Nigeria and they buy tea, what's going to happen is they're gonna it's gonna be $44.95. You're gonna get a 50% commission on the volume, right? The volume is $40, you get $20. But for customer sales, you only get 25% out of the points. So you won't get 40 points, you only get 10, but you're gonna get 50% check, okay? So that's one way you get volume. So when you do retail, you get a great paycheck, but your points are low, all right? The second way is when you sign people up in the business, right? When they want to join. When people join, there's going to be two different ways you get points from people when they join, all right? So say somebody wants to join with me, boom, they go to my site. If people come and buy a package, now we have 4 packages, the Summer Slim package, the Hotlanta package, the 300 package, the 500. When they buy any of these packages, you are going to get a 50% volume, 50% of the volume of what they purchase. So if they spend $300, you're going to get 150 points. If they do the 500 pack, you're going to get 250 points, okay? You get 50% of the points of packages. However, if people join, this is the third way. So the second way is you get 50% of the points off of package sales, okay? Package sales will give you 50%. Retail sales only give you 20% in volume, all right? We're talking volume here. Package sales give you 50% of the volume. But when it comes to people joining your business, let's say somebody come and they just buy a la carte. They say, I want to buy 1 HCG, 1 Gano, and 1 NRG. You're going to get 50% commission, but only 25% of the volume points. So instead of getting 40 points off of HCG, you get 10. Instead of getting 40 off of Gano, you get 10. Instead of getting 40 off of NRG, so you only get 30 points off this sale, even though you make a 50% commission. So your check might be $100, right? Because you're going to get 50% commission, or whatever it's going to be, whatever your check is going to be. But you only get 25% of the points when people do a la carte. That's why we tell people, you know, there's multiple reasons, but you really need to learn how to educate people on the power of packages. Because number one, you need more than one product to get your business up and running, and you want to have samples. So this one is really good for people to have a little bit of everything to begin to get their business started. Plus they can cash and carry, have product on hand to sell right then and there. You get 50% of the points, 50% of the commission, and your people have a great deal of products to start out with. If they do a la carte, guys, you're only going to get 25% of the points, but you do still get a 50% commission check from the Fast Start bonus. All right, that's the third way. The fourth way is that if you are wanting to get volume, right? Let's say you are 100 points away from hitting director, okay? 100 points away from hitting director, and you need inventory anyway, and you're not worried about retail commission. What you want to do, guys, is you will get the website. Let's say that your mom is in your organization underneath you. You want to get the information to the person that's underneath you, and you go and you buy your inventory underneath their back office. Why? Because when you make personal purchases in your own back office, it only counts towards personal volume, not group volume. So see, these are my personal orders, right? You can see these, right? This is 1,000 and something worth of orders. I didn't know what I bought then. I can't tell you that. But what I will say is that this order went as points for personal purchases, but not under my group volume. So it did not count towards the group volume that you will see when you have your group commissions set up, okay? When you have that set up, all right? So you want to get to a point where you get somebody's information in the organization underneath you and somebody in your downline, and you can go into their back office and you actually place the order in their back office. And the reason why is because when you order in your back office, you're going to get dollar for dollar for every order you make, right? Dollar for dollar with volume. So if I'm going to order a pack of tea, I get 40 in volume, okay? I pay $45, but I'm going to get 40 in volume that's going to go towards my organization. Now pay attention. These packages don't give you what they give you on the front end. Like, you're only going to get 100 in volume for this $300 purchase. So I tell people, usually instead of buying packages for yourself in the back office, it's best to buy individual because the volume is different. See, we get, you do get it in the multi-pack. You get 250, but it's not dollar for dollar, 500 points. So you can invest $500 in the back office of somebody underneath you and get 500 points, right? You can get the dollar, not dollar for dollars, a few dollars off, but 60 points for the resolution, 60 points for the chaga, 40 points for the NutriBurst, 40 points for the NRG, 40 points for the HCG, right? 40 points for the Strike Up and Love. You get kind of dollar for dollar for your volume, but you gotta buy it underneath somebody underneath you, and then that will put you in position where you will be able to see those points roll up in your organization. That's the fourth way you get volume, okay? So we went through, I'm just writing these down so I can make sure I cover them all. So you get 25% volume off of retail sales, okay? You get 50% off of package sales, 25% off of people who join who buy a la carte, and then 100% of the volume when you buy through the back office of somebody underneath you. I'm hoping that this helped you guys understand. I'm gonna look and see if we have any questions. I am learning a lot. Thank you. How can I get that blueprint? Let me refresh the screen. Okay, any questions? What is the number for the 10 o'clock call? The 10 o'clock call that we do every night, the number is 559-726-1300. 559-726-1300. And then the PIN number is 493-824#. 493-824#. All right. All right, screen is blurry. Blueprint. Coming to a theater near you. Everybody's asking for the blueprint. Coming to a theater near you. Just take good notes. Anybody else with any questions? You know, when it comes to hidden director, guys, you got to be very strategic. You know, I can't log into my back office because I would cut off this webinar. But when I first got started, I actually had a full out blueprint. Let me see. Let me see if I have it in here. I put a blueprint together for what I was going to do and how I was going to hit rank. So let me see if I have my business plan. Everything that I do, I approach it strategically. And so I have no idea where it is. I don't know if I have a TLC blueprint, but I can kind of show you how I map my things out. I don't know if it says TLC blueprint. But yeah, I map everything out, and I think strategically on how I want to build my business. And so, yeah, I don't know if I have it in here. So I went through and I identified what does it take to hit these different ranks. I studied the compensation plan. And this, you guys should all be very, very familiar. You can go and Google this TLC compensation plan. I found it online before. I I found this before I even decided to join the business. I just wanted to know how the money worked because I was coaching some people in this company. So I studied this comp plan and I started saying, this is some good money you can make. So you want to study the comp plan, get very familiar with the different levels, what's required. Like I studied this stuff to a T. And so you want to be able to identify, and then you put a blueprint in place, guys. You put a blueprint, you have to learn. Pam talked about that on Tuesday, having a plan, putting a plan in place for your business. And what that does is it allows you to be in a position where you can strategically grow your business. You can strategically grow your business. So like with my team, I had a strategic plan. I had my names that I was going to call. I had the cities that I wanted to launch in. I had my keywords ready to put into the internet. I had my financial income, right? See, I have all my names, like the project, the people that I'm working with. I had the city that I wanted to launch in. So I'm very, very strategic about what I want to do. And I sit down and I identify the numbers. How does the money work? It's not just coming in and doing stuff, but it's being able to identify how the money works. And then from there, guys, you're able to really get things up and running. Let me see if I put the business plan here. I don't know if I have it where I put it. It's in here somewhere. TLC. But yeah, so you want to always get familiar with the numbers. You want to know head on how the money works. And unfortunately, I have no idea where that blueprint is. And being that I can't log into my Google Drive account, I'm not able to find it. So, but yeah, you get very clear, guys, on your outcome, on your goals, on where you want to be, on what you want to accomplish. And then what will happen is you'll start attracting it in your life. You'll attract success in your life. When you buy under somebody said, who gets a check when you buy under somebody? When you buy under somebody who is an actual rep, nobody gets a check because you don't get paid. You get 100% of the volume. Okay. Somebody saying, when will you do this again? We do it every Saturday at 11:30 Eastern. All right. When it comes to assessing how much volume you need for the month, do you look at the binary volume for that week or add all the PV for the month? So guys, do you subtract that from the PV that you need to determine what you need to order? Is there a pre-recorded business call to get new people involved? Yes. So there's a pre-recorded business call. Let me send it to you. Hold on one second. The pre-recorded business call is (518) 518-777-4062. 518-777-4062. 518-777-4062. Yeah, you can replay this webinar. Commission check goes to whoever uses the card. No, listen, nobody gets a check when you buy. You're not getting a retail commission when you buy in the back office of a rep. Reps you don't get a commission for that. Okay, you just get 100% of the points. Okay. Yes, the replay will be available up for the next week. You can come back here and watch it at skintbootcamp.com to watch the replay. skintbootcamp.com. All right. And any other questions? Oh, somebody was asking, when it comes to assessing how much volume you need for the month. Guys, you keep track of your volume. It's always going to be under commissions. You can keep track of your volume, right? When you click commissions, you'll see your LV, your RV, and it'll be able to determine where your volume is. When you're making purchases, it just depends. I mean, you never know until when people join the business, you begin to see kind of how the volume is set up in their business. So for example, let me just log in real quick into my back office. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Okay. So when you get to the page of the commissions, what happens is you're in position Okay, I'm showing y'all my screen just real briefly. What happens is when people enroll, you get to see the kind of points, whatever transactions are being done in your organization, right? You're able to click on this little button here, and it usually brings up all the activity at the bottom, group volume details, all the activity at the bottom of what's happening. So you get to see all the volume coming through your organization, right? You get to see all the stuff. So what happens is it's calculating. You see what's happening here. So you got to keep track of what this number looks like at all times. You should be checking every single day, identifying where your commissions. But if you ain't producing, nothing to check, right? But you should know your numbers. For example, when I have goals, let me just show y'all how serious I am about my goals, right? I keep track of my progress. Okay, there's certain numbers. So if y'all can see this, I keep track of my volume, right? That's this past week. My goal is to hit national. I know how much volume I need, so I keep track. So you can see 6/12 at 3:30 p.m. I check my volume. 6/13, because what happens is I see where I was last week and I can make comparisons. I can go and look at, you know, the last week when I was tracking, how was my numbers on that last Monday compared to this Monday? Because see, I was able to look and see my numbers actually tripled this week on the Monday because the T is back, right? So I have like certain pages where you can see the volume, but I keep track. But this is when you start building. This is when you start building your business, when you have volume to be mindful of. But guys, I watch everything that's going on in my organization. I'm very, very clear. All right, I keep track. See, I'm very clear. So I really do not play games with my business. I am always keeping up with my numbers. But if you're not growing, it doesn't matter. Another thing to show you guys is I have my planner. Okay, everybody should have a planner. This is my planner. This one ends at the end of June. Well, guess what? I already have my planner when it ends for July 2015 to June 2016. All right, I'm already planning out my next year, my upcoming, you know, this ends, this is the last month. And I keep track. But when I told you to 5, 5, and 5, you know, this is to show you that this is not a game. I'm not just telling y'all to do something I don't do. You can go through here and see I keep track of names every day. Every day. If your calendar is empty, you ain't producing. You got to keep track of what you're doing every day. I can just scroll through every day. Every day. Every day is intentional for me. This isn't just, you know, you don't win by default, y'all. You win through planning. So you got to put a plan in place. When people tell me that they're going to join on a certain day, I keep track. I got sticky notes everywhere. I got, you know, I have information on convention and events and, you know, just nonstop. This is this week's calendar. So I mean, this week's schedule. I'm nonstop using this. Is people I'm signing up this week. You know, and then I'll put a little note in, set up, in. You know, these are people who got in the business with me. I'll put their name for me to follow up with them. I'll follow up. You know, some people are set up. These are team members. I got to get them set up. These are new members. I got in, right? I got a little code so I can know, boom, in. You know, if this one, people change their date. If they tell me they join on a certain day, I go ahead and I look at that date. I follow up with them. You know, launch calls in the schedule. You know, I'm always keeping track of what's going on in my business. So I tell people, you can't just do stuff and hope it works. You have to strategically connect with the outcome that you want, and you make it work. And the way that you make it work is you plan. You don't actually have in here. I have my this is my my folder for, I have a folder for my TLC business with my documents and stuff in it. So I have like the compensation plan and the pays and the blueprints and the scheduler. So I use a scheduler for my day. I'll print out my daily schedule so I can know whose launch calls I have and what my daily schedule is. And you know, it's like I treat this like a business. I told you guys, you know, you have to have non-negotiables. One of my non-negotiables is losing. I am not losing. I am going to win. I'm going to make money. I'm going to produce. I'm going to attract people. I am going to succeed. There's no option. This is not a hope and try. This is, oh no, it's guaranteed. And the reason why is because, you know, everything, even budget, money, right? I'm serious about my money. You know, when I get paid, I divvy up how I get paid, where the money goes. I keep track of all my stuff. You know, I am going to win. I have goals. Where do I want to be? What debt do I need to pay off? How much income do I want to generate? How many income streams do I want to have? What, you know, this is a whole little binder, financial binder, where it's just, it's creating my success for my financial life, right? These are the kind of things that you learn in business. I got books all around me. I'm a student. I'm always learning the game, right? I got books behind me. Network marketing books, right? Dare to Dream, Work to Win. How to become a recruiting superstar. How to build a 7-figure system. How to build the 7 steps to building $1 million in a network marketing. From the ground up, how the lift you need to succeed in direct sales. Like, y'all think I'm playing? You think I'm not gonna be on the leaderboards? You think y'all not gonna know my name? You think I'm not gonna make money in this company? You think I'm not gonna be at 5 figures a month? There's no way. There's no way. This is called preparation. And preparation, when preparation meets opportunity, great things happen. That's why I always remain a student. I cannot fail when I am prepared. I just can't. So it doesn't matter whether my sponsor calls me back, whether my friend told me they were going to join with me and they went to somebody else, or whether somebody called me and said they were going to sign up and then they signed up with somebody. I don't care, because my business cannot fail. I'm prepared to win. You know, I'm prepared to win. I'm prepared to succeed at this. I'm prepared to reach every milestone. I will be an executive ambassador in this company. There's no question in that. I will do it in record-breaking time. There's no question in that. I will be national before we get to convention. There's no question in that. It's an expectation, because it is a full-out commitment and an already devoted action that I've taken that is going to position me to win. So, you know, when a lot of people come to me and they say, well, can you show me, can you make me successful? I cannot. I can be a resource to give you what you need, tell you what you need to do. If you choose not to do it, then you won't get the same success, okay? So, you know, you guys have to look at this as a great opportunity to understand what it means to build wealth. Wealth building principles develop in the mindset. I talked about that on the call before we did this call. You really have to be connected to wealth building principles, and that means investing in yourself, where you work more on yourself than you do on your business. And when you do that, then you're in position to win at all times. Another thing that I will share with you guys is keep a journal. I'm on the resolution, okay? I'm doing the resolution. I keep track of what I eat. Day 1, here's all my meals. Day 2, here's all my meals. Day 3, here's all my meals. Day 4, and today I'm on day 5. You see what I'm saying? I'm very, very thorough as far as intentional about my outcome. I take pictures, I keep track. You know, the first day I started, I know how much I weighed, 172.2. Where am I at now? 168.8, right? Or 160, I just checked a few minutes ago, but I had just drank some water. So I'm waiting for that to flush to get a good accurate number on where I am today, right? But yesterday I was 168.8. I keep track of what I'm eating. I keep track of how I'm feeling. I pay attention. I got a little testy and attitude the other day, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Oh, boom, you forgot your NutriBurst and your NRG. But I ran and got it, took it, and I'm off to the races. Another thing, inventory. Guys, this is my office. Y'all see my whole kit and caboodle? I got everything here. T-shirts, the coffee, Delgada, the Strike Up in Love. I have tea, right? I have everything. So here's my tea. I keep things in stock. I keep things in stock. I got an account with the Postal Service. I got all my boxes, right? I have all my stuff here. We got shipments. You know, I got more stuff out there on this little desk I got to send stuff out. The minute orders come in, I'm sending them right out to my customers. All this stuff, you know, it all plays a part in your preparation. It all plays a part in your outcome. It all plays a part in the expectation to win. And I just, guys, I don't have room for wishing, hoping, or mediocrity. And so if you want to get to a point where you truly begin winning, guys, you got to have a mindset to win. You can't wait on nobody. You can't blame nobody. You can't wait on people. You can't try to force people, beg people. You have to get yourself in a position where you do whatever is required of you to win. So when it comes to your volume, go learn how to read your volume, but produce. If you out there making sales, the reason why I keep track of my numbers is because I want to see how my progress is every week as a team. But I'm still producing. I'm not obsessive about it, but I'm paying attention every week. You got to test stuff. All right, so the tea came back. What was different? You know, what was the difference between last week and this week? Okay, the tea's back on the market. All right, what was the difference between, you know, this week and the previous week? The slim packages came in, right? Blah, 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 blah. I'm paying attention to, all right, what's causing these numbers to shift? And I'm measuring myself. Am I doing what I need to do? Because a week ago today, I was 2,000 points more in my back office than I am today. What am I doing wrong, right? I see where my legs are off because I blew out. I don't have no spillover. Is not a conversation for me because I moved so fast that I didn't have time to wait for that leg to grow. I just built them both out. I built both of my legs, right? So I'm at a point where I'm seeing, okay, I got this team going, boom, that leg is moving. I'm building this leg, but now I'm building this leg's slowing down. All right, let me pay attention. What's going on with these leaders over here? You know, what's happening with their organization? Who do I need to reach out to who I know is building, but they're probably struggling in certain areas? I pay attention. I am a CEO of my business and I'm committed to understanding how my business works. And that's the way that I build my business. So, you know, I know many of y'all might be like, oh my God, oh my, this is too much. I can't do it. I'm not saying y'all got to do all this. What I'm teaching you is what it takes to get to building a 6-figure business on your way to building a 7-figure dynasty, right? 8-figure dynasty, because 7 figures is not a lot of money anymore. You know, it's not about you doing all this at night or overnight, but it's about you being aware of the simple little things you need to tweak today that'll help you shift your mindset to become who you need to become to get the level of results that you want to get. So I share all this back end stuff with you, not to tell you that's what you need to do to become director, but to show you how intentional I am about my business, because I know a lot of times on your side of the fence, you're looking over here saying the grass is so green. I want my grass to be green like that. Well, do you know how much I've spent on, you know, getting the grass green, the kind of seeds I had to sow, you know, the kind of manure we put on here, special cow manure from somewhere, how much I'm paying in getting somebody to come out and water the lawn or mow the lawn or whatever, right? You don't know what's going on in the operational side to develop these success stories. And I want you to see it's not hard. I'm a different kind of person. The information I'm sharing with you is showing you how I function, where I'm very calculative about my business. But I want you to understand that you have to be so intentional about your success that you truly do full out commit to doing what is required to become the best in the game. Guys, I don't care if I was selling hot dogs. I would be very aware of what it is that I'm doing, how I'm doing it, what's required of me to do it, how can I increase sales, you know, how many more stations do I need to get? Should I add some turkey dogs and chicken? I would be very intentional. And that's because I live to win. So I want to share that with you. I'm gonna look and see if there's any more questions, and then we'll be ready to wrap up. Nicole, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. God bless you. Yes, sis, have a shift to self-owned use car, no check, just bump. Can we replay this webinar? It's excellent. Okay, any other questions? I think I answered all your questions. All right, so we started a few minutes late, but we made up for it. I'm sure you guys got great information out of it. And I think we are good to go. I know it's Saturday. Y'all want to go spend time with your family. I'm going to go spend time with mine. So if you want the replay, if you want to share this with your team, send them to skinteabootcamp.com, SKINNTEA bootcamp.com. And we will be here with this available for replay all week. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great and happy Saturday, and we will see you at convention. Go get your convention tickets. Go vote for Stormy, vote for stormy.com, and vote for ISOT for the #1 product, okay? All right, y'all, have a great day. Bye-bye.